Hey everybody, Joel, Moose Droppings by Import Sauce. Today, since I was working on it, I wanted to show you the anatomy of a P1 windshield wiper tank reservoir. Different pumps that you may or may not have on yours, the hose routing system, the 2 to 3 electrical connections, and different modules that you'll have on there. Where it's located, how to get it off, how to access it, all of that. So stick around and you'll learn what to do should your windshield wiper squirter stop working, your headlight squirter stop working. Maybe you're not getting your low fluid fill windshield wiper tank message, all of those things. So we'll walk you through it real quick here. Okay, everybody, so in the middle of the T5 Ultimate forged internal rebuild. And you know, we're just chasing down gremlins. The engine, I think, has about 14 miles on it. Still have some of the stock stuff on, still kind of chasing down thises and that's. One of the very last things that we are doing before we redo the timing and get this thing going is we had our windshield wiper squirters were not working. So you pull back on the right stock and you'll get a couple pumps of your fluid and you will get a couple wipes of your wiper. We had in another video replaced the wiper motor that was, I think, glitched out during the ECU got fried by coolant or ECM got fried by coolant video. And I think something happened with the motor on our tank. I don't know if it was related or not. I want to say it was working before we pulled the engine, but you know, I can't recall. So anyways, we did our normal troubleshooting, which was pulling our motor off. This is your little motor that pumps the fluid up to your squirters on your hood, connected directly into there, a positive, a negative, and nothing. We also tested and hooked up to the connector coming into this with our meter, and that was getting voltage when somebody pulled on the stock, so we knew that the pump was bad. So let me just show you what we have here. So right here's our reservoir tank. And it's going to vary depending on if you have these headlight squirters. Ours are disabled because we went to and found a color matched virgin bumper at the junkyard that did not have a license plate hole, that did not have holes for these, and we don't need our windshield wiper or our headlights getting squirted, so we removed the fuse for that. So you may or may not have this, but I'll show you those components. So first of all, let's start up here, right? You have your fill cap. That goes down behind the headlight and right into the tank. You have your breather tube, which goes up, same thing, and then just hooks on right there on the side, and that's just so that there's no vacuum when you are pulling fluid or when you are pumping the squirters, right? From that, we have our feed, or let's say what you're going to definitely have, which is that pump that we looked at right here. This is on the back. If you have to change this, you could get underneath and remove the splash guard and then come up on it. That wouldn't be too bad. You might want to just maybe pull the bumper if you're familiar and comfortable with that, because then you're just going in right here, right? There's no hardware to mount any of this. All of it is just tube female to male, and there's big, thick, multiple rubber grommets and seals that go in there, so it just pushes in. And here's our main connector there. It's just a positive and a negative, so when you pull back on the stock, the ECM sends the signal down here to activate the motor. And from the side of the motor, you have the hose, and we can see that there. That goes up, and it actually clips in to the tank. So there's little pinch points. That comes up, it goes up. It follows up through the fender and then runs under your fender all the way up, corner of the hood, it will pop up. It goes through. We got a holder. We have a T. We just replaced this yesterday. Ours was clamped off, or you know, a little crimped. 2 more holders. Then you get to back up and come over here. You get to an L and a small amount of hose that connects those. And these are brand new. We just got these guys too. Seems like every few years these things kind of get clogged. I gave the part number to the local auto parts store. Volvo wanted like 12 bucks. They were able to get me these at 11 bucks delivered without having to drive to Volvo or wait for shipping. And they fit perfect. So that is that routing. Over here on the side, second connector, which you definitely have, is going to be the level indicator, right? So same thing. All of these are just, it's just the water. These are just push-ins, right? So we see that there's a rubber grommet, and you can see the action on that. When it gets to a certain level, this floater will bob down, completing the circuit and sending the message up to your dashboard. And we can see, just based on the size of the tank, that you know, out of this whole thing, I don't know, I'm guessing like 2 gallons. You know, it's not going to be until you get to the lower maybe 1/8 that you're going to get that indicator message. And then for those of you who have the headlight squirters, where you have a little cap and it pops out and these blast your headlights, that is a completely separate pump. And that is, let's see if I can get you an angle here, right in there. Similar pump, connector, positive, negative. And then this pump, same thing, off of the back of it, just has a tube, and that big old fat tube routes up, connects to this guy, and then runs through and hits the guy on the other side as well. And same thing, just a push in to mount. If you needed to take your tank off, if you had a hole, something like that, there's just 3 8mm. We have one here. We have one that goes up into the fender, and then back here on the back you see one dead straight there. And then this whole thing will come off. You just simply pull these 3 out of their rubber grommets. So that's the overall kind of top level of the P1 windshield wiper reservoir, with either the single pump or the double pump, as well as the indicator level. So if you got any issues, it's not too hard to get down there, test voltage, check things, check the motors, all of that. So hopefully that helped. And if you run into anything, have questions, or have some tips that I might have missed, go ahead and drop them in the comments below.